of the ball, flirting with one young man after another, until she had met the man of her dreams and married him. She was still pretty in a fragile manner. The likeness between herself and her daughter was astonishing. They had the same soft, light brown hair, the same large blue eyes, and delicate features. But Shona's face had a decisiveness that her mother's lacked. Her chin, although elegant, was strong, almost stubborn. Her mouth was full and beautiful, but also firm. Shona Winterton would never allow herself to be ordered about, but there were those who had yet to learn that lesson. Her stepfather was one of them. "I am so glad you enjoyed yourself," Lady Helen said now. "I would have remained longer," Shona said. "Except that step-papa wrote to me." "Oh, my dear, why do you call him that? I am sure he would like you to call him Papa." "I cannot do that," Shona said quietly. "Papa is dead, and I will not give his name to anyone else." Lady Helen sighed. "I wish you would be a little less obstinate, darling child. Colonel Lockwood is a good man, and he devotes himself to your interests." "No, really, Mamma, that is too much to ask me to believe. He is not devoted to my interests, only his own, and I am not even sure that he's a good—" "Hush!" Lady Helen gave a little shriek. "What a terrible thing to say!" "I am sorry, Mamma," Shona said patiently. She knew it was useless trying to tell unpleasant facts to her mother, who would simply shut her eyes to the truth. Nonetheless, she had one more try. "The Colonel wants me to be connected with a title," she said, "and he is trying to do it through me." "Oh, nonsense! It isn't nonsense, Mamma. Why do you think I came home early? Step-papa wrote to me, telling me to come back to London because he has invited some charming people who want to meet me. He particularly named the Earl of Harrington." "Well, he is a charming man," her mother said, speaking in a faltering tone, because the angry glint in Shona's eyes alarmed her. "No, Mamma, he is not a charming man. He is coarse, vulgar, and he drinks too much. Step-papa wants me to marry him because he is rich and titled. He will do anything to see me married to an earl. I don't think Lord Harrington ever thought of me until step-papa started throwing me at him, and I would not marry him if he was the last man on earth." "Oh, my dearest, you really must not be so positive. It is most unladylike." "If I am not positive, they will have me dragged up the aisle before I know it," Shona replied. "Mamma, why do you think I went to visit the Downworths?" "Because they live in Essex, a nice, safe distance from London. Free, I thought, of step-papa pestering me about Harrington." "Not so, apparently. He demands my attendance at this dinner tomorrow, so I returned to confront him and tell him to stop." Lady Helen gave a little scream. "Oh, you must not be impolite to your father." "Step-father," Shona said implacably. "He is not, and never will be, my father. Now, Mamma, I must go upstairs and change." She kissed her mother and vanished. Effie was in her mid-20s and had been Shona's maid since she was 15. The two young women were good friends. "There are so many invitations for you, miss," Effie said. "Look at these." Shona ran through them, noticing that there was one for that very evening, to a dance at Gresham House, home of the Duke and Duchess of Gresham, of whom she was rather fond. "But it's too late for me to accept now," she thought reluctantly. As she bathed, she thought over her situation, and in particular her unpleasant stepfather. "If only," she thought, "Mamma had not married him. I suppose I cannot blame her. She was lonely after Papa died. But why this man of all men?" She could have thought of at least a dozen men who, in her opinion, would have been more appropriate than Colonel Lockwood. But she had chosen him, or had he set his sights on her? From the first moment he had entered her home, Shona had suspected that Colonel Lockwood had personal reasons for being there. He was too complimentary in every way to her mother. Shona had known, although she hated to acknowledge it, that it was only a question of time before he would ask her mother to marry him, and her mother would accept. She had to admit that he behaved nicely enough to her mother, at least during their courtship. He could be charming when he set his mind to it, but Shona soon decided that he was an adventurer, with his eyes on her mother's money and her place in society. He was a man she could never like or trust.